What's going on today, guys? Today we are doing a full demo review of the Hils HZ7. So with this guitar here, I just recently got it, wanted to play it around for a week. You guys saw my unboxing last week. This week I want to do a full demo review. We're going to hear a demo in the mix. We're going to hear just some solid riffing, and then we'll go over my thoughts and opinions on the guitar. At this, this is the Hils HZ7. So this guitar is what Hils considers the HZ shape. It's got a mahogany body with galaxy black finish. I will say, let me see if I can get it up close. That's a little better. You can kind of see some of the sparkle in there in the galaxy black. Honestly, I like this body a lot. It sits comfortably when you play, as well as it's pretty comfortable when you're playing and riffing along and your hands moving along the neck. So with that, it is a satin finish. It is roasted maple is the back of the neck. As you can see, it's a super solid neck. There's a light matte finish on it. It's super smooth, super playable. There's 24 stainless steel frets, and these are just the specs off of the website. There's 24 stainless steel frets. The radius is a 12-inch fretboard radius. I will say that more than anything, that is messing up my playing a little bit. We'll get more to that at the end. I do find that other guitars are a little bit flatter of a radius, especially in that 7-string range. We got a bone nut, dot inlays. The headpiece is titanium locking headpiece. The electronics are 2 humbuckers. They're Hils active pickups. There is a 3-way pickup selector, and then there is a push-pull on the tone pot in case you want to do some more splitting. They're both Hils active rail humbuckers. The bridge is a custom aluminum hardtail bridge from Hils. And then that is all for the specs on this guitar. Alright guys, next we're going to go ahead and get into our full demo mix. Guys, and that was the full demo mix that I have. Working, trying to get better at those. So let me know what you guys want to hear with those type of mixes down in the comments below. I don't really do too much of like clean tones or anything like that. I don't really care. I am going to keep doing hard metal tones. It's pretty much what I play 90% of the time. But with that, my final thoughts on the Hils HZ7. Honestly, pretty good guitar. Couple things that I would want them to work on. Number one, the flat radius. Or I would like there to be a flatter radius. So instead of having like a 12-inch radius where it's super rounded and it's really big for chords and stuff, in metal, I like personally a flatter radius. I have a couple guitars with 20, but somewhere between that 16 to 20, honestly, is where a lot of 7-strings sit, and I think this would be really good if it sat around there too. This one in particular, I don't know if the nut is just cut wrong or not, but there is a lot of buzzing on all of the strings up and down the entire neck. Could be an uneven fret, could be a multitude of things, but with this one, the nut is, I think the nut's low. I think the action is way too low just entirely. So I think that it would need a replacement nut. take that for what you will. I mean, sometimes you're going to get gems, sometimes you're going to get, coal. So it just kind of depends on what you get on that day. The other thing that I don't like is that where the jack comes out and then where this sits. I need to have that pretty much like next to my body and then with my legs close together for that to be comfortable. I play in a very like classical position, and having it sitting here as such, I don't really like the way it sits on my body. So that is another thing for me. But if you like those things, if you like that like leg kind of cut out and you're gonna put it in the back, or if you want to use that leg cut out and put it on the front leg and just kind of let it sit there, you can do either of those. Those are great options for you if that's something that you want to do. Overall, for me, I do think that those options right there aren't some of the best for me. Personally, like I said, I sit in classical position. I would want the jack to be moved somewhere out of the way so that could sit between my legs. I do like the cutout. It is something to get used to, but at the same point in time, I don't like it. It's a yes and a no, honestly. But overall, if you're looking for a 7-string guitar and one of these comes and you want a headless model, and you want a 7-string with multi-scale, I would say honestly you can't go wrong with this. But I would just be aware that the nut might come cut a little too low and you might have to do some setup on it. But overall, honestly, I do think it's a solid guitar. The 12-inch radius is too round for me. I don't ever play 12-inch radius guitars. None of my guitars are 12-inch radius. Even some of my 6 strings are flatter. So with that, be wary of that. It's not my cup of tea. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But for those of you who do like a rounder radius, this guitar does have it for you. I will say the body is comfortable when I do get it in a good position to sit with. But with that, I do want to point out that the humbuckers here are super solid. They're not anything to like, it's not good, like not going to be your bare knuckles. It's not going to be anything like that, but I will say that they are solid pickups. They sound clear, they sound concise, as you kind of heard in the mix. They're not really super muddy. Was I just doing chugging on it? Yeah, pretty much. But at the same time, you could still hear the notes when I was playing the chords. So there are some things here that I think Hils has really done right. And I think some of this, Hils does have to go back to the drawing board. I get the full ergonomic design of the body. Awesome. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I do like the body, the way it looks. Like, honestly, I think that is a sick looking guitar. But overall, is this my cup of tea? And I think the answer is no for me. Honestly. The cool thing though is that it does have that headstock on the back, essentially, where you can put this in a normal like guitar hanger or anything like that. So keep that in mind too, if that's a breaking issue for you or not. But just keep all of those things in mind. This might be the guitar for you, but honestly, at this point, from what I've played with it, and the buzzing issue that I have, and the round fretboard radius, it is not a guitar for me. I do tend to like my guitar fretboard with the radius is flatter. The buzzing issue is up and down the entire neck. I've tried adjusting the truss rod. Everything is pretty straight. But with that, I'm still getting huge buzzing issues. So keep that in mind if you are ordering one of these Hils HZ7s. Keep that in mind, and hopefully this review helped you somewhere. Try and make a clear, concise decision for yourself when trying to buy a guitar. All right, guys, that's been me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Hils HZ7. Honestly, like I said, cool looking guitar. It plays well, but there's just some features that aren't for me, and maybe they're for you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye.